MK and I am back with Follow the Sketch February, and today we are doing a double page layout, and it's going to be pretty simple. The sketch, which I forgot to get ready, I apologize. It's pretty simple. Let me blow it up for you guys. Here we go. So the sketch is pretty simple, but I'm going to let my background paper do all of the work for me, okay? So as soon as, oh, I didn't even see all those bits and pieces. Anyways, I'm going to let this background paper do all the work for me, okay? But I do have a few things that I wanted to do. So I pulled out just cardstock. And the reason why is because I don't want to take away from my back pieces, okay? So it is going to be a double page layout, and they're going to be laid out just like this. But I pulled out some pieces because I don't want to take away, or I pulled out some cardstock because I don't want to take away from the back piece. I also went into my Cricut and just typed in the word vine and duplicated this one multiple times. I also printed one of these and a cute little circle, sorry, and then some larger vines. Okay, so this is pretty much going to be the gist of my layout. It is just a really cool structure that was in Albuquerque that we found. And that's it. That's all that these pictures are about. I don't really have a story to tell. I am going to use this cut file as well. Everybody's been calling it a fairy door, but I'm actually going, I'm going to like treat it as if it was the castle door. So I'm going to get rid of the curtains. I'm going to get rid of the butterflies. I don't want any of that stuff. And I'm also going to color these lines first before I back my cut file, so that way I don't accidentally get onto the cardstock that I plan on backing the cut file with. So I have some scraps here to help me back this cut file. I have some cardstock here to back my photos with, and you guys, it's going to be a pretty simple layout just because that's there's nothing really to tell as far as, you know, it's just something that I've always wanted to scrapbook. And I kind of have been waiting for the perfect paper to scrapbook. And as soon as I saw this paper from Shamel, it's her book, Head in the Clouds. As soon as I saw this paper, I knew that this is the paper that I wanted for my castle. In fact, I wanted like a million sheets of these because I have a lot of dragon photos that I'm just waiting for the right paper to come along before I actually scrapbook them. So anyways, I wanted to get this scrapbooked because I feel like this is the paper for these two pages, and then I found the perfect sketch. So it all came together. Again, it's going to be a very minimalist page, but I think it'll work. And so let's get started. Stop talking, get going. All right, so really quickly, I'm going to trim off the pieces I told you guys I was going to do, which is 2 butterflies and the curtains. The butterflies are still usable. They can be attached to another layout or anywhere else that you see fit to put a butterfly. I do plan on keeping mine in my stash for a while, so that way I remember that I have to use them. All right, so the first thing I'm doing is taking this shimmer brush in Avocado. I absolutely love this color. And I am just painting my, my leaves. And the reason why I say it's painting is because it is like a paintbrush. The bristles do come apart if you are a little too rough with it. And I did have to, like, it was brand new. And so I only squeezed it enough to get a color swatch out of it. And then I had to, just a few seconds ago, squeeze it a little bit more to get some more color. And it goes by way faster when you do it this way. When you like squeeze it and your bristles aren't dry, because the wetness of the bristles actually keep them all together. And then you really do have that fine tip. So the next color in line is it's a retired color. It's called Sugar Plum, and it was a cross between it's almost like a mauve, I guess is what I would say, but it's a cross between a pink and a purple. I really liked how soft it was. And then for the shell, I just colored it in my gold, which is a clear it's a clear color, and then it has gold flakes in it. So that's my favorite. I need a new one. I'm almost out. And next up is my all-time favorite, and it is called Sapphire. So technically I used all of my favorite colors. And this one I plan on coloring the rest of my door in this color because I wanted it to look like the background paper, where it had the mortar of the bricks was a darker color than the bricks. And so that's kind of sort of what I was going for with this cut file. And I felt like once this dried, this was a pretty good match to the color in the paper. So I really like it, you guys. Oh, it's so pretty. Yes. And I did have to squeeze this one to get the color out, I think 2 times, just because I was putting down a lot of paint. And I did bring out my messy mat because I'm trying to just go over it really super fast, instead of being a little bit, delicate with it. So here's where I had to squeeze it again. And you could definitely tell the difference between, when you have a dry brush and when you have a wet brush, for sure. So here is my colored cut file. And then I am going to really quickly back the cut file. So I did speed up the coloring process quite a bit, but I slowed down the backing part just because I have a lot of questions about how to back a cut file. Now, I'm not one to trace and then cut. I'm kind of a lazy scrapper, and so I just glue down and I cut. That's how I do it. I see a lot of people that trace and then cut, which actually is probably a little bit better because you're not working with wet adhesive and sticky scissors. My adhesive dries pretty quick, so I really don't have that issue, but sometimes it dries so fast because I only put a small little dab. But sometimes it dries so fast that while I'm cutting, it pops off. The image pops off the paper, so I do have to glue it down again. But yeah, there's a quirk to every style of how you do things, right? And I'm okay with that. Sometimes it pops off and sometimes I wait and it does not pop off. So I am just using some scraps. I used a gold scrap from a previous page that I did, and I just wasn't ready to put that gold scrap in the bin yet. And then I am using the green left over from my cut files that the vine cut files that I used from the Cricut. And the Sugar Plum cardstock that I am using, or that I already used, came from the photo mats that I had cut for while I was in the middle of cutting for my photos. So yeah, that is where it is. And then this purple is gorgeous purple. It's called Wisteria. Oh, I love that. I love that name. So it's a wisteria color, and it is, they're all from Close to My Heart. That's where most of my cardstock is from, unless it came in a kit. Then I don't know where it came from. But Wisteria is just this very soft purple, and again, it matched the background paper just perfectly. And so I did not want to cut a 12 by 12 piece just for this door. And so I am making this smaller piece, which is the only scrap that I had of this color. And I'm making it work I found a line in the cut file that I could put a portion of it on, and it wouldn't show like a gap or an overlap of the paper. And so then I will take the rest of the cut file and set it on the other part of the cardstock. And so that way it will be, the whole door will be covered. And of course, I forgot that I wanted to cut my window out. I want it to be a darker color. And I glued all the way around it, so that would have been a catastrophe if I did not take away that glue. So now I'm just going to rub my hands over it really quickly and get rid of all the extra glue. That's one of the things that I absolutely love about that glue, the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive glue, is that you rub your fingers over it and it balls up like Elmer's glue. And so I really enjoy it. I love how fast drying it is. I love the easy applicator. There isn't anything that I can complain about except that I run out. Probably because I use it. But yeah, anyways, almost done here. And there's my door. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just did a little happy dance. She's so cute. I absolutely love it. It's not too girly for me, but it definitely, will be great for a castle door. I just stuck my finger in there to try and tell you guys that I do plan on filling in the gap. And I'm just placing my photos down so I can get a measurement of how big I want my cardstock, like it's going to be like a cardstock mat, to try and ground my photos so that way they don't, I don't know, they just don't look right. So here, and I cut my pieces wrong. So I measured out a specific measurement for the left page and then for the right page, and I mixed up two of the measurements. So yeah. So I just need to go back and cut off a little bit. Yep, there I am going, what in the world? I remember now. I just don't like cutting my papers too small and then having to recut again, but that leaves me a small little scrap for my window in my door. So yay, happy accident becomes, something that I needed. It works. See, here's where I realized that I need a scrap for my door, and there it was. Yay. So I'm just going to take care of that really quickly before I forget. And I did have a little bit of glue that I must not have glued all the way down, so I had to fix that as well. Yeah. Oh my goodness, you guys. That is so awesome. If I don't mind saying so myself. I also took one of the border strips that was at the bottom of the background paper, and I cut out some of the words. So like one of them says slay the dragon, the other one says something about believing in magical things, and then the other one just says wonder, wonder, W-O-N, wonder. Anyways, don't get stuck on words. They're very hard for me, you guys. So this vine that I am trying to get to work right now, I cut it to where it was going to go all the way across the page, but I didn't know where or how I was going to manipulate it, but I wanted it to go around and wrap around my farthest photo on the left and go all the way across to the right page, just kind of tucked underneath the closest photo on the right. That I just wanted it tucked underneath so it looked like it was coming from the other side of the page, and it just wasn't working. The leaves were too big. It just did not look right. So I went to the smaller piece, which was my backup. I always cut two pieces if I don't really know what direction I'm going, and so this one was my backup, and luckily I did already have it cut, so that worked. And now I'm trying to decide if I want to back this circle piece, and I thought, well, yeah, because it would make a really great journaling spot, because I don't have a journaling spot. Not that I needed one, but I did want to back this this little circle, viney circle thing. So I'm going to still mess with my vines. Yep, that's what I do. This entire recording is nothing but me messing with my vines. So, and then I accidentally put some glue on the outside of a circle that I did not want, or a vine, I'm sorry, leaf part. And so I did have to use a full sheet of wisteria for this one. I should have just used it for the door as well. Then I wouldn't have felt so bad, but I just barely got this color. Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. I just barely got this color, and so I did not have a whole lot. I used one whole sheet. And that was it. So now the little circle has what looks like flowers, and I don't like the fact that they're green. So I remembered that I had like these pink iridescent sequins flowers, and they're pre-sticky, and so I am just, wherever there was a green flower, I'm sticking a pink flower. And there were 2 different sizes. Luckily, I had 2 different size sequins, so that worked out. Yay! So I'm just sticking them wherever there was a flower. I stuck a sequins on, and that was it. And then later, I decided that I wanted another spot with those. I just don't know where just yet. And then I also had these light purple like asterisks, and I thought, oh, well, maybe they'll work on this layout, but I don't know where yet, because vines don't normally have flowers on them. And so it was something that I pulled out just in case, but I wasn't sure yet what I was going to do. So I thought, let's let the layout talk to me. Okay. So for right now, I am going to, I shift a lot of things, but I am going to put the photos on this sugar plum paper. And I did, so Close to My Heart's cardstock is double-sided. It's got the true color on one side and then a lighter version of that color on the other side. And I absolutely love that. I especially love that on, like Cricut files, because if you're looking to shade something, you only have to use one piece of paper. You just use the mirror image of the other, what's it called? Of the image. You just use the mirror option of the image, and then you can have both cuts on the one sheet and then just flip it over and you've got the lighter side. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. Who knows? And I did end up flipping all of my vines. So again, I used what is, I believe, fern. It's either fern or avocado. I don't think I have avocado yet, but it's gorgeous. I need it. And so I just flipped it as well, because I thought I was going to use the darker side, but this lighter green actually looked better with the pre-printed vines than the darker green did. So I thought that was great. What a happy accident that was. Yeah. So, and I did decide, did I finish my sentence about the sugar plum cardstock? Or did I get distracted about two-toned cardstock? Who knows? But I did flip the sugar plum and use the lighter side. I just thought that it blended in really well with the stone color of my photos than the darker part did. So yeah, not a big deal, but I absolutely love it. There's my little circle with my flower sequins. And I'm just setting everything up, seeing how I like it, laying it all out. And then, of course, it's the dreaded having to glue everything down part of it. So I didn't want anything to shift. So I thought that I would, glue my photos down really, really quickly, so that way I remembered where they went before I glued my blue piece down. And my 12 by 12 pieces are slightly overlapping, which is, I didn't realize that until I started gluing things down. So, and I do have a wonky tape roll in my ATG gun. So you're going to see me shift it a couple times throughout this layout. What it does is it's just a little wonky. And so the tape portion of it kind of slides off the guide, and I just have to go and put it back on. And then 25 rolls later, it's just fine. Yeah. While I was talking about my wonky tape roll, I decided that I'm going to pop up some of my vines. So the corner vine is popped up. I did that while I was talking about my tape roll. And then I popped up the door as well. I just did not show you guys. It's very boring. I cut it out. So, but I do show you guys how I adhere the door to the layout, because I have a lot of questions about the foam that everybody raves about from Walmart, and how I stick it on the layout. So I put double-sided tape on mine, and then I actually use liquid adhesive, because the ones that I purchased were all dried out, and so they weren't sticky on any side. And so I realized that, well, if my double-sided tape is going to do the exact same thing, then I want something a little bit more secure. So I use liquid glue. But the double-sided tape gives me that instant stick that, because I don't want to sit there and hold it. I've got other things to do. Yeah, I want to move on. So, and I did decide to put the, believe in magical things. I don't really know exactly what it says, you guys, but I did decide to put it above the door instead of next to the flower on the door. And I'm just trying to make sure that if I stick a foam dot in certain spots, that it's not going to try to push down on my vine, because it is also on foam adhesive. So I just wanted to make sure that I strategically place those, in good spots. Yes, that's the word. That's where I pulled out, right then and there is where I pulled out my other sequin flowers, because I realized that I want them on another part of the page instead of just in one spot. I'd rather have them in two. So, and then I just shifted my papers apart, and I do have, my full 24 by 12 showing now. So, and I'm trying to figure out where I had my pictures on the left, making sure that I have them in the right spot before I start gluing things down and that everything fits. And then I decided to, the pieces that are going to be covered up by a photo, I just decided to cut off. And then I have my wraparound that I wanted. So it works out. I thought, oh, that's perfect. I can do that. I don't like wasting images behind behind photos or other images. So if I could cut them out and make them work on another piece of the layout, it just makes me happy. So yeah, all these smaller vines I am gluing straight to the layout, just because they are so tiny. But I also like the dimension. So you've got raised up vines plus farther back vines and then the printed vines. And so you've got like almost 3 layers of dimension going on the layout. So yeah, I just really like it. And then I also decided to pop up this one as well. It is very boring watching me cut little foam dimensionals is what Stampin' Up! Calls them. And I cut them to fit where I need them. Oh, there it is again. Yeah, I must be using my ATG too hard. No, it's not. It's the tape. I found some really old tape rolls from Tape Jungle, and ever since they fixed their issue, I have not had an issue, but I do want to use up the older rolls, and I think I have like 12 more left before I can go back to using the newer style from Tape Jungle. So it is not the company's, they fixed the issue. These are just really old tape rolls. Anyways, so now here's the circle. I shift it because I'm not really sure if I want it tilted. I knew that I didn't want the flowers to just be like straight across from each other. So I found the angle that I liked the most after shifting and shifting, and I could not remember where I put this wander. And so I'm actually being interrupted because it's that time of the day. But it's like, one more layout, please. Anyways, I forgot where I was going to put wander, so I had to find another spot for it, and that is it. I'm also talking to my husband on the phone, so if you see my hands doing some really funky things, then I talk with my hands, and we are having a conversation that just some things that make you go, so that's what it is. Just a few more things, and I am almost done, I promise. The simplest layout takes the longest. I seriously thought that this was going to be an uber super fast page, and instead it just kept going and going. I did also get interrupted quite a bit, so that is kind of why it's choppy. But up here in the upper left, it says slay the dragon, but I don't want to slay the dragon. He's so cute. So I decided to add a little part of the title that says don't slay the dragon. And I don't know which one is the title, to be honest. I'm not sure if it has a title because it's got 3, smaller words. But this little label that I'm putting it on has a very faint pastel wood grain on it. And so it looks like a wood plank, but it's not in your face dark wood plank. And so I thought that that was kind of cute. So I thought that I would do like one of those where it's a hanging plank type thing. Does that make sense? Anyways. Yeah. So I just manipulated a question mark for my little apostrophe that goes in between the N and the T. And now I am looking for my twine because I always have twine hanging out on my desk. But this time I don't. So instead I thought, oh, I don't want to get off my chair and go and get some twine. But I end up doing it anyways. I did find another spot to add those sequins, and I'm still looking for a spot for those asterisks. I still am. I'm determined, you guys. Yes, I am. And then my glue dots were nowhere near where they're supposed to be. So I had to reach across my desk and grab them really quick. And what I did was I just tied 2 knots at the end of each one because I did not leave enough room to put holes in the wood plank. And so basically I just kind of glued them down on either side to where it looked like they were attached. And then I went and found a brad in my stash, and now I am going to attach it to make it look like the little wood is hung by the brad at a cute little angle. I absolutely love it. So now it says, "Don't slay the dragon." I just love that. These papers were absolutely perfect for these photos. I love it, you guys. I am so glad that I got to scrap it. But here is the finished layout. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and my simple, not so simple layout. Be sure to click on the Facebook group and check out everyone else that is playing along with all of these sketches. We have a few more days left. Actually, I believe we have half the month still. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. But check out everyone else's take. It is awesome. It is a great group to be a part of, and I will check you guys later. Bye.